rise again to glory then, soar into the sky. If you stop and see, then you just might believe. We're unstoppable, powerful, enough to beat the odds. If you love me, you will see the flames inside of me.
Okay, that's better. I left Seduce Me on for way longer than I was hoping, and it went through the entire song. So anyway, welcome back. But before I begin this, let's have a talk. No. Everybody, start to fear. We need to have a talk. I know my videos are not consistent at all. I will go weeks, months, years without posting. Maybe not years, but days without posting. And that'll be because I am very busy. It's because I have to record at night. It is now 11:29 p.m. And Skype is telling me something, but it is 11:29 p.m. I usually record until 3 a.m. in the morning, which doesn't really give me a lot of time to sleep. Mainly, I record that time mainly because everybody in the house is awake during the day and loud, and I have like 4 dogs and they're awake and they're already loud enough at night. One's chewing themselves, I don't even know anymore. But yeah, until I get my own place, videos might be scarce because I have work and then I have sleep and I have work. So there you go. So don't bug me for videos. I'm trying my best here, trying my best. Anyway, I love you all, but please don't bug me. Where were we? August 8th, June 13th, August 12th is where we were. Wonder what we were doing. Exhausted and tired, I marched to my room and opened the door, surprised to see Matthew already there. Matthew? Wow, right. Right, can we just take a moment to just kind of back up for a second? I just got here. I just got here. I really wasn't prepared for some epicness. Give me a second. Yeah, I think I'll be okay. Yeah. Someone I wanted. However, what was odd about him. Being in the room was not that he was there before me, but that he was staring into the fire-eyes, glazed over, almost a pale blue tint. Jeez, something was going on. Really? What? Tell me, Sexto, what gave you that idea? Yeah, no clue. I walked over and placed my hand on Matthew's shoulder. How you doing, bud? Slowly walking over to him to look directly into my eyes. Oh, it was almost creepy to see, but he seemed almost dead. He looks dead. He looks like he just seen the pit of hell. He looks like he just saw Honey Boo Boo's pageant, is what he looked like he saw. Matthew. I can't. Duck Dynasty, Honey Boo Boo, all that TLC shit. Keeping up with the Kardashians. I gently shook his body, trying to snap him out of whatever trance he was under, but he grasped as I spotted a blue ring around his neck. But I gasped. Shut up. As it did, the air around me became colder and a little darker. What was going on? Panicked, I look around, trying to pin down what was causing this. I will never watch TV again. Matthew's voice brought me back to him, hearing his voice drawl out of his mouth like an emotionless doll. Don't. I gripped Matthew's shoulder tightly and shook him again. Hey Matthew, you okay? You got one of those... what was that anime called where they wore collars? And the girl wore underpants on her head. And she was naked under shut up. If you know the anime where the superhero wears, like, air quotes, superhero wears underpants over her head and wears, like, a cloth over her naked body. And everybody has, like, a collar around themselves because they can't say provocative words. Tell me the name of that because I forgot right now. Matthew! Still nothing. Smack him! I already know that smacking him is not a good idea, but God, I want to so... You know what? Just for shits and giggles. Yeah, I want to save. We're gonna smack him. I didn't want to, but I had to snap Matthew out of whatever stupor he was under. Bit my lip and shut my eyes. Sorry, Matthew. With a breath, I raised my hand and smacked him across the face, causing him to gasp and a pale blue in his eyes fade back to normal.
God, hey! Ow.
It's weird. Is it weird to say that I've always wanted to do that? But just replace him with Damien. Okay, we'll go to the... oh god. We'll go to the regular one now. Sorry, but I just had to. I had to smack him. Sorry. Kiss me, boy. I had to break him whatever spell he was consumed. I had to break him out of whatever spell was consuming his mind, and there was no way in hell I was going to smack him. No way! No, that's stupid. Who would do that? Instead, took his hands into mine and pulled him into a kiss, locking lips with him and shutting my eyes. I didn't understand what made me do this, but I was determined to make it work. I waited and waited until finally Matthew wrapped his arms around me and leaned into the kiss, letting me know he possibly broke through. Smacking him was so much more fun, though. I mean, come on. I wonder if he'll say, like, why'd you smack me? I opened my eyes slightly to see his eyes closed, but his arms around my waist were secure and loving, just like I remembered. Welcome back to reality, my boy. As I slowly pulled away, Matthew opened his eyes and revealed their lovely ocean blue color. Perfect. However, his cheeks were a lovely contrast of red.
Hi.
I smacked you. I always wanted to do it. I mean, it was fun smacking Eric in the first game. Actually, I feel kind of bad smacking Matthew. Oh, dear. Someday, Michaela, can I just smack Damien? Can that just be like a DLC? Just for May, just smack Damien. Somebody send Michaela a message for me. I want a DLC. I will pay for that. I smiled a bit, giggling. Hey, what happened? Are you okay? Totally didn't hit you across the face.
Yeah, I'm fine. I was just looking at the fire. It's pretty warm.
Sorry, I had to discipline the dog with a water bottle. Every part of me didn't believe him, and then again, one moment must discipline more dogs. Okie dokie. I only yelled at her to get off my bed. That's all I did. Don't worry about it. Then again, something was wrong, and me and Matthew was becoming a victim of it. Good deduction there. I frowned and cupped his cheek, making him lean into it slightly. Are you sure? You look like you were possessed, honestly. Matthew furrowed his eyebrows, unsure of what I meant. Did he really not remember? I now became concerned, desperate to know answers. Why was he acting so strangely? Matthew took my hand in his and held them gently, rubbing his thumbs over the top of the hands.
Hey, is everything all right?
Really feel like I should be asking you that same question, but okay, we'll just leave it at that. I almost glared. That was what I had asked him. I wasn't crazy. I knew that something was off, and I had to try to figure it out. What? I squeezed Matthew's hand instead. Squeezing contest. Eventually, the hands will just break. Matthew, I'm serious. You were staring at the fire. Your eyes just looked glazed and stuff. Pressing his lips together, he looked down, trying to discern what I meant, as if he didn't do what I suggested he did. Good job. I pulled his hands, now worried. Pulled his hands where? I didn't want him to assume I was making things up. You believe me, right? I mean, it gave me the option to smack you. Can you believe that? I didn't, but can you believe if I did? Ugh. I don't think we'd be able to get married if I smacked you. That would just be terrible. Matthew stared into my eyes, reading them as he nodded.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I don't know how to respond. I mean, I don't remember being in a trance.
Usually people don't. Never mind. Oh. As he said that, however, he suddenly curled over and held his head, hissing in pain. What the hell? Can I not have a sweet moment? Good job. You made him remember. Good job. Matthew? Quickly, Matthew collapsed onto his knees and gripped his head, digging his fingers into his hair. As I followed him down, I knew for sure something was definitely wrong. I cut Matthew's face, trying to read his expression and trying to figure out what was wrong just from sight. A moment passed before Matthew let out a gasp of breath, opening his eyes wide and panting for some fresh air to enter his lungs. His eyes painted his fear, there we go, as if he had just encountered a nightmare within the moment that passed. What happened? Matthew wouldn't speak, furrowing his eyebrows and shaking his head.
I heard someone calling to me.
You know, you'd think I'd have a sarcastic remark for that, but I really don't right now. Calling to you? Hello from the... Sorry, okay. For a moment, I believed it to be his mother. Maybe he was hearing what I heard in the human world, but why didn't I hear it anymore? It made no sense. Matthew shook his head and gritted his teeth.
It sounded like my mother. But how could she...
Hello from the demon side. I took Matthew's hand and held him to my chest, catching his attention. Hey, let's go ask the others about this. It's not too late to go talk to them. It's never too late. That will always be the face to remind me that I smacked him. Beautiful. Matthew suddenly shook his head and took his hands from mine, grasping at my shoulders.
It's alright, really. I don't need their help. We can figure this out on our own.
Can I smack you again? Matthew. I had a really bad feeling about the situation. Matthew was getting put in trances, then getting headaches and hearing his brother's voice. Oh my goodness. Why was he so reluctant to get help from his brothers? I need my guide. I need my guide to get through this. Community guides taking me to where I need to go. This one. Hey guys. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Smack him -2. I don't think there's any way to get that back. I guess it doesn't matter. Gotcha. We need to figure this out. This was too mysterious and dangerous. We needed the help. Matthew, we need to...
Please, just trust me.
'Cause it
Okay?
doesn't matter why I look up the answer when it doesn't matter. Matthew stared deep into my eyes, pleading silently for me to trust him. I bit my lip, still not completely sure that this was the right choice. As I slowly let out a whine of complaint, Matthew gripped hard on my shoulders, not enough to hurt me, but enough to emphasize his point.
Please.
Fine. Bet I'm stronger than you. Matthew seemed adamant. I swallowed my nerves and nodded slowly, taking in a breath and letting out a sigh. Matthew leaned forward and kissed my forehead, thankful that I was willing to trust him. However, trust wasn't the issue. I trusted Matthew very much. But not so much that I wouldn't smack him! What I didn't trust was whatever was trying to influence him and hurt him. Oh, damn peer pressure in middle school is ridiculous, isn't it? I didn't just want to leave him in the dark, and I didn't want to hit the wall with... Didn't want us to hit the wall with this that could potentially hurt Matthew more and make him do something even more odd, like lock us in a cage like Toma did. I grimaced before standing up, helping Matthew up. Come to the feet, buddy. Come on, let's go to bed. Matthew nodded, agreeing that right now sleep was something we probably needed. I led Matthew to bed and helped him in, cuddling up to him and laying my head on his shoulder. Matthew.
Yeah?
Yeah. You sure you'll be okay?
I'm sure. I promise. I'll figure this out in no time.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. Sure. I'll see you in your next trance. I nodded once more before closing my eyes. I had to let him try. If all else failed, I could go to the others for help. But not unless it became dangerous. Still, something felt wrong about the entire situation. First, there was something wrong with me, but now there was something wrong with Matthew? We had the worst luck. You just realized you're in the demon world. You just realized that? I expected the night to take me away into a world of slumber, but was quietly awoken by Simon poking my side with his knife. Oh my gosh. You guys ever watch Friends? You know, that like 90s sitcom. Oh, I love that show. I've watched it about like a million times. Imagine Chandler's face going, something like that. He just caves into his neck. I don't know. But imagine that face. That's the face I'll do right there. No, Simon. What? I looked down at my side to see Simon waving his arms and pointing at the door, revealing it to be partially open with familiar red eye peeking through it. I stared, suddenly wide-eyed, but Diana didn't move from her spot, knowing I spotted her. Did you want me to go over there? Simon pulled at my hand, wanting me to go, so I snuck out of Matthew's arms and crept to the door, causing Diana to back away from it and giving me the space needed to leave the room. Do you need something?
Is everything all right?
Yes. Where was this coming from? I furrowed my eyebrows. What do you mean? I heard that smack from across the castle. My God. She asks, is everything alright, because we're not having sex. Diana pressed her lips together and looked into the room for a moment before looking back to me with a serious expression.
I was doing my usual routine around the castle, and felt somewhat of a disturbance in the air, like something was trying to make contact with someone here. It was a weak wave, but...
We had a Skype call. Sorry. We couldn't pick up. The Wi-Fi here is crap, I'm just saying. I stared surprised. Someone's really trying to contact Matthew? I wonder who it could be. I became overjoyed to know it was simple enough. Diana tilted her head at me, seeing my expression.
What? Did something happen?
Skype call. It sucks. The connection, phooey. Before I opened my mouth to speak, however, Matthew's plea echoed in my head. He wanted me to trust him. If I told Diana, I'd ruin his trust for me. I merely bit my lip, shaking my head. No. I'm just surprised is all. Ghosts. Diana raised an eyebrow at me, but I didn't budge. I can only see one eyebrow, but sure. I didn't want to be the one to say anything until Matthew needed me to. Despite it fighting against every moral code in my body, I had to put some trust in Matthew. Eventually, Diana nodded before turning to leave.
I apologize for disturbing your sleep. Please, have a good night.
You too. Should I curtsy or bow? With that, Diana left the room in the hall. I stared, mildly flabbergasted, I fucking love that word, at the fact that she simply let it go. However, would she look more into it? I had to admit, I hope so. I returned to Matthew's arms that night, hoping that everything would be okay. I just want the next box to be, alas, but it wasn't. End. The morning was unkind as I woke and yawned. That sounds so weird. Woke and yawned, yeah. Feeling drowsiness, still tried to consume my mind and force it back to sleep. However, I had a train. Boy or girl? It's a boy! Congratulations, Thomas the Choo-Choo Train. Thomas the Train Engine. What's that? How? How did it go from Seduce Me to Thomas the Train? Boy, if I knew. I had to train today, and so did Matthew. Good God. Speaking of Matthew, I turned my head to see Matthew rubbing his eyes, waking up alongside me. However, his grumble let me know that the night was not kind to him. Whoa.
Is it morning already?
Yeah. And I gently leaned down, kissing Matthew's forehead. That seemed to lighten his mood as a happy smile danced across his lips, and he let out a happy sigh.
Good morning.
Good morning. Who does that? Morning. Awkward laughter. I smiled as I hovered over Matthew's face. Hello, Matthew! Seeing his beautiful blue eyes gazing into mine through the blur of sleep. With a sweet, infectious smile, Matthew reached a hand up and cupped my cheek.
You are so pretty. You know that?
You sound drunk. Oh, no. Is he even old enough? He's not old enough to drink. What'd you guys say? It was 21? Oh, fuck. He sounds so drunk. He sound like Damon. I love her. I fought a blush creeping up on my face. The way he said it so casually and drunkly made my heart flutter and had me forgetting about the world around us. It was like we were in our own little universe for a short moment of time. I nuzzled his hand and giggled. I didn't want the day to roll onto us getting ready to separate and train just yet. I wanted to sit back with Matthew and enjoy our time alone. No problems, no dangers, just us. And hiccups. Matthew grew a small smirk before snaking his arms around me. I thought that sentence was gonna go up your shirt. Snaking his arms around me and pulling me against his chest, making me gasp and grab onto his shoulders. Not wanting to crush him with my weight. Oh, come on, you weigh about as much as a twig. However, Matthew smiled and squeezed me close, except I bet Matthew weighs less than she does.
No nightmare last night, huh?
Nah, not really. No. As he said it, I realized it. There was indeed no nightmare for me last night. I had a peaceful, dreamless night. I suddenly smiled and looked down at Matthew with a happy nod. Yeah, no nightmare. I had a good sleep. Matthew chuckled before leaning up and kissing me softly, just enough for me to feel it. That's good. As he pulled away, I became curious of his own night. What about you? Matthew's smile faltered a bit as I asked, but shook his head slightly and gained a smile back.
It was rough. I woke up a couple of times, but that was pretty much it.
Okay. Sounds like a night. There was more to the story, but I had to let it go. If he wanted me to trust him, then I had to, with the full extent of my heart. I nodded and planted a light feather-like kiss on his nose, making him chuckle beneath his breath. So, what's the plan for you?
Well, I figured I could skip some training and just spend some time with you.
You school skipper! Oh. Go to school, kids, get your education, and do that stuff. Yeah. Mei Mei Lee, 2016, motivational speaker. Yep. With a playful smirk, I grabbed the nearby pillow and gently bounced it on him, making him flail a bit. Hey! You know training is important, damn it! Don't make me nag you! Matthew smirked and rolled us both over to have him on top of me. Oh, don't you bring me to this. Bouncing his own pillow on me. Don't smother me!
I can totally train with you in a never-ending pillow fight!
Alright, I got a pillow pet in my lap right now. Bring it, it's a panda! Okay, which pillow pet you want me to fight you with? The horse, the penguin, the bumblebee, or the ladybug that's behind my bed? Don't worry, I have a lot of pillow pets. I got a giant chicken pillow in the background too, if you want. I'll fight you with that. Or, I can go wall with them. I can dual pillow if you want me to. Oh, it was on. It was on like Donkey Kong. I quickly grabbed my pillow and swung it at Matthew, landing on target and causing him to roll off of me. With a grin, I arched my body in the opposite direction, hoping to land another hit on him. But Matthew quickly ducked and swung his pillow at me, hitting me with a soft, fluffy impact.
Gotcha!
You son of a bitch. You ain't getting away with this. Nope. I will win this war! Welcome to Seduce Me 2, the Pillow War. Bring it! The battle became intense as soon as we were double-fisting pillows, trying to whack each other with our chosen weapons, while also avoiding the fireplace. That would end terribly. The bench and truly anything that looked expensive around the room. Yeah. Oh yeah. Regardless, we were immersed in our own world, ducking it out with feathers and cloth as we lost track of time. Diana burst in the room. What the fuck are you... About pillow fight? Really, guys? Yeah. Barely even noticed the door open.
What's going on in...
Oh, I was right. As Diana's voice rang through the air, I gasped in surprise and looked over to see the succubus holding 2 plates with stacks of pancakes on them. What frightened me and Diana was a sudden knife chucking itself in Diana's direction, causing her to sidestep and letting the knife rake through the stack, effectively nailing the pancakes to the wall beside her.
Hey!
Oh, what is your problem? Holy shit. She has pancakes! She has flapjacks! Remember that show, Flapjack? That was a great show. But still! Dan and I looked to Matthew, seeing him panting and posed in mid-throw. Oh right, his weapons were like daggers or some shit. His eyes flashed back and forth between gold and blue, glaring hard at Diana, most likely in surprise from her sudden entrance. And once again, I was taken away from my fantasy and brought back to reality. Well, son of a bitch! Diana snarled and practically slammed the 2 plates she was holding on the table, glaring daggers at Matthew. Daggers, get it?
What in the 7 hells was that about?
7? Diana! Can we smack him now? As Diana took a step forward, Matthew suddenly shook his head and realized who was approaching him, and who he essentially attacked, causing him to step back and place his hands in front of him.
Whoa, hold on!
Where did that even come from, though? I don't. Staying out of it. I had nothing to do with this. I didn't want to become the target of Diana's wrath. Besides, Matthew pulled the knife on her. He had to explain his actions, not me. You go, girlfriend! Diana marched towards him, burying her glare into his frightened gaze.
Explain yourself!
You better. Frantic, Matthew clapped his hands together, bowing his head and breaking the stare contest between them.
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you. I thought it was an attacker and...
You didn't know it was a... Look at her, she's purple! Look at that hair, it's like a majestic mane. She's purple, with horns, she's naked! How can you not notice a naked woman coming into your room? Hello?
An attacker in my home? They would be dead before they even set foot through the gates!
She's got some logic there. I looked to Matthew, seeing him grit his teeth and press his hands together hard, trying to gain some form of forgiveness from the succubus who seemed to want his throat cut open. Diana snarled quietly before slapping his hands away and gripping his chin, making him stare up at her.
The next time you dare to attack me will be the last time you feel your heart beating in your chest.
Wow, way to get on her shit list. With a threatening scowl, Diana pushed Matthew back and away from her, causing her to turn away and walk towards the exit of the room. I, however, rushed to Matthew, catching him before he tripped on his own feet.
Eat, then get to training. Don't waste time.
Yeah, you eat those pancakes off the walls. I ain't getting them for you. Diana finally left, leaving me and Matthew lost in our own space once again. This time we were awake and aware of what was going on, mildly ashamed of the delusion we placed ourselves in before the sudden surprise from Diana. Matthew rubbed his head, looking to the floor.
Man, I really screwed up.
Yeah, you're like on the top of her shit list now. Damn! I knew that he messed up, but he didn't need to get himself... But he needed to get himself together and fix his mistakes so we could move on and figure out the problems he already had. I wrapped my arm around him, nuzzling his shoulder. It's alright. No, it's not! You liar, Sexta. Sexta. What did I name her that again? I rubbed his shoulders as he rested his forehead against mine.
How the heck do I deserve you?
That's a good question. I merely smiled and kissed his cheek. Because you love me. And I love you. And all that mushy stuff. This is going to turn into the Barney song, isn't it? With a chuckle, Matthew kissed my cheek and kind of nodded. What?
Right.
I don't even know what that meant. Matthew and I turned our breakfast and ate what we could, with Matthew taking the plate he managed to attack. Amazing aim. The pancakes almost slipped off the knife that was still embedded in the wall, causing Matthew to run and catch it in his empty plate. He didn't need it and merely left it there, avoiding it like it had some sort of poison in it. Next time it will. We eventually separated to train, letting the day roll. I'm gonna end it here. I'm sorry, but there's other stuff I want to record. I know they're supposed to be an hour long, but things change. So right now, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.